The Police Department tonight continues to investigate the disappearance of a 28-year-old woman. They say she went missing from her own apartment last week. Today, our cameras caught investigators leaving that apartment she shares with her husband and infant daughter.
I saw them today, her husband telling me that this entire situation is, quote, weird. He didn't want to comment on camera, but he says that law enforcement has been doing a great job and that he hopes that she comes home soon.
I think she's just confused and maybe scared, and I don't know if she felt alone, but I just really want her to come back, and it does worry me.
It's been 1 week since Joe Elledge has seen his wife, Mungchi Elledge.
Yeah, I really miss her, and I need her back, so.
Investigators say Elledge noticed his wife missing the morning of October 9th. According to a news release, he reported her missing later that evening around 5:45. You reported her missing at 5:45. Any reason why from when you realized that she was gone till 5:45 that you called?
I really didn't know where she could have gone. She was supposed to meet somebody in the morning, and I didn't know who else she was going to meet, what else she was going to do. It was really weird that she didn't take her phone and everything like that.
He says they had been going through a tough time.
We were kind of growing distant in the past few months. I know she was talking to somebody else.
Police are now calling the investigation into Munchie G's disappearance a criminal investigation and say they suspect foul play. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is also confirming that divers searched a pond by the Elledge's apartment on October 17th, but did not find, quote, anything of interest. Tonight, her husband, 24-year-old Joseph Elledge, is behind bars accused of child abuse.
He started to explain that his wife was missing and that if we had any information to contact him.
Emmett Dorsey says ever since the night Joe Elledge knocked on his door, he's seen police vehicles in the complex where he lives and says it's alarming.
KRCG 13 has learned police believed Joe Elledge was a flight risk and saw him packing up items to leave. Elledge has been behind bars in Boone County since Friday. That's when he was arrested on allegations of child abuse dating back to February of this year. Today, he denied those allegations to a judge. We have live team coverage this evening. KRCG 13's Gladys Bautista was there. But first, we want to get right to KRCG 13's Kyron Lee.
And there are at least 3 documents in relation to Joe Elledge that are locked, meaning we don't have access to those sealed documents at this time. However, they are consistent with search warrants.
Yeah, now from what we could see, he looked and kept the same demeanor that he had when I first spoke to him during my interview with him almost 2 weeks ago. Now, new tonight, we got permission to show you guys a photo of Elledge when he was getting arrested. In this photo, you can see the couple's infant daughter in a carrier held by a police officer.
The family of a missing Columbia woman says they plan to stay in the United States until there is, quote, some type of resolution.
It has been nearly a month since Munchie G. Elledge disappeared in Columbia.
And the couple's infant daughter is the focus of a custody dispute between 2 sets of grandparents.
Anna's father already is a suspect of child abuse. We just do not believe Joseph's mom is the best candidate to take care of Anna.
Authorities are now calling Joe Elledge, the husband of missing Columbia woman Munchie G. Elledge, the prime suspect in a murder investigation.
Investigators say they now believe Joe Elledge knows more about what happened to his wife, Mungchi G.
You know what? I think it's best that you go back to China. I'm ready to be done talking to you forever.
Prosecutor Dan Knight suspects Munchie Elledge's body is somewhere in mid-Missouri.
He drove to the Jeff City area on one trip and then drove back to Columbia, and then a second trip later on that afternoon he drove down to Ashland, over to Guthrie, I think back to Ashland, over to Fulton, back up to Columbia, and then over to Roachport.
Her father says he has faith justice will prevail.
At last, I pray that my daughter Mungchi will be back to us because she is our love.
Investigators are confident divers are looking in the right place for the missing Columbia mother. Munchie Elledge has been missing for nearly 2 months.
Recovery crews today brought more equipment to the Lamine River to aid in their search for the body of a missing Columbia woman.
The search is difficult because of several feet of debris under the water.
Divers are back in the Lamine River for an 8th day of searching for a missing Columbia mother.
And you can find a 2-month timeline of events in the case of Munchie G. Elledge on our website, krcgtv.com. KSLA.com.